Hello there, good evening, and welcome to State of Affairs here on GHOne Television. We are live on Facebook, on X, and on YouTube. Here is where we discuss all the raging issues affecting Ghanaians and primarily sharing and also shedding the spotlight on those issues for you, having the very important conversations that would bring some finality or if not clarity to those pertinent issues. And tonight, I would be getting into the conversations with my guest. We'll be talking about the health sector, also talking about the NPP, and also looking at the John Dramani Mahama administration since January 7, 2025. But before then, if you're looking for a smarter, more secure and eco-friendly way to stay connected, well, it's time to live seamlessly with MTN's eSIM. Enjoy the ultimate convenience of multiple numbers on one phone, switching seamlessly without swapping SIM cards, and activate it instantly from your home on My MTN app. So you can now experience enhanced security with an embedded eSIM that cannot be stolen or damaged. Plus, you get to play your part in also contributing to a greener planet. So just dial *#06# to check your phone's eligibility and download My MTN app to go seamless with MTN eSIM today. If you have more inquiries, just call 100 or contact us on any of our digital channels. My guest tonight is the Member of Parliament for Effiduase Asokore. He's also the ranking member on Parliament's Health Committee, Dr. Nana Ayew Afriye. Doc, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, my brother. A very good evening to your listeners and a very good evening to the great people of Effiduase Asokore constituency.
I hope you're doing very well.
I'm well.
Well, the Speaker, Bagbin, he dealt with you with kids' gloves. He should have allowed you to be led to the Privileges Committee. What do you say to those?
I wasn't there when the Speaker made a ruling, but he's been in Parliament for so long, and he has a lot of experience. And he also knows my style, or the style of the Health Committee. Nothing at all. The Speaker watching me would bear to the fact that, will bear with me, that on not one occasion, but more, did he ever tell me when I was the chairman of the committee that I'm very comfortable with the feedback I get from all the sides about your leadership on your committee.
No.
Now, the Minister of Roads, Kwame Agbodja, who was the chief whip, everybody wanted to come on the health committee. He asked them that what at all is on the health committee that everybody wants to be on the health committee. It's just leadership. You know what I mean? So I think that he probably would have weighed that the Ayew Afriye has a capability to do everything. But under the circumstances, I think it was out of the ordinary. You know what I mean? So he weighed them and made his judgment. That is the truth. So I do my work. When it's health, I always state that I'm cautiously political on health issues. Extremely. I will disappoint you if you think that I'm just going to play political card. I will disappoint you. I'm trained first as a medical doctor, guided by my actors. I need to be have a representation. I've done representation for my people, for my profession. I know what is right, I know what is wrong. I know when to strike and when not to strike.
Right.
And when I'm not supposed to strike, I won't. And I won't be pushed to strike when I don't also have to strike. But when I strike, I'm clearing my mind of the positive factor that is enabling me to do so. So I think that the Right Honorable Speaker, with his experience, put all this into consideration, and that is why he said there's no need, we have to move on.
All right. Okay, now let's turn our attention away from the health sector and talk about politics, the NPP. You led the team for Dr. Bawumia in the Ashanti region in the 2024 elections.
Yeah.
What went wrong?
We lost.
How did you lose?
We lost miserably. It is what it is. We lost the elections. The reasons why we lost is in a book that has been shelved by the national officers. The Proof of Okwe Committee is being shelved. Now everybody is attributing reasons for subjective feeling and how they see it. Some will say Christianity, some will say ethnicity. The very people saying Christianity, I don't even know the church they attend anyway, you know, and I don't know if Christianity, churchgoers, people who let God's will be a reflection of their lives, or we use God to make politics now in the realm of Christianity. and therefore we'll go to the prisons and the cells and let us do a statistics of the many human beings in the cells, and let's look at their religious backgrounds so we can see if yourself and myself have what it takes to use religion to make a decision on a very sensitive issue. And clearly, various research works they have done did not even talk about ethnicity, didn't even talk about religion. But only the national leaders knows why they have shelved, why we lost. They must bring it out.
You feel the report should be made public?
They must bring it out. But we lost the election.
But even though it's not made public, some people have done some speculations about certain pages, and that has not
those speculations,
received...
those ones were denied by the General Secretary, that it was not true. And therefore, for people not to attribute to issues of value judgment, speculation, subjectivity, so what do you have to do? Let it out. So if people would tease you, let them tease you. You caused it. We caused it. We caused it. Maybe my name is in there, so I have to see my name there and see what I did. Everybody's name could be there. MPs will be there, written executives will be there, constituency will be there, polling station, but everybody will be there. What are you afraid of?
And you don't think that if that is made public, it would rather worsen the challenges with the party currently?
It can even heal people. You look at the glass half full, half empty. How about the half empty one? You have people who want to hear why you lost elections, and they want to heal from the corrections. And Ghanaians, thanks to President Mahama, it's easily for forget. So by the time they will bash you now, and after a year or a year and two, they see that you are on the right path, they will be the people very happy to come along with you. They will even forget about how they were bashing you now. If bashing you would not kill and it will heal, what is wrong with that? We cause it. You understand? Whether they said we didn't pick our phones MPs, whether they said arrogance, whether they said poor development in Ashanti region, in the Bono region, where disappointment all over expectation by people and jobs. And look, and some of them which would be perception and some of them which would be truthful. I don't even know. In this game of politics, it's not only about facts. Perceptions are in. So let me know some of the perceptions that is not real, and let us learn from it. You say you've shelved it. And now people are saying we lost because of it, we lost because of it, we lost because of this. Confusing many people. Are you doing any good? Even at all, you can put the core, the regional executives, the constituency executives, the MPs, the DCEs. You can do a presentation for them, let them know why. Word of mouth will go, people will not see the document. People will now see that you are identifying with their pain. You understand? It will heal.
So for you, the report needs to be made public.
Long overdue.
We need to know.
Long overdue.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
And have you made these suggestions to the party?
I've said it on your sister stations when they interviewed me. Omaro had one-on-one. I said it. I've said it on Facebook. I've written. I've said it everywhere. It's how I feel. It's how I feel, and it's how others feel. So let's see how it goes. But as of why we lost, it must come out. It definitely must come out. Yes, it will make peace for everybody. You've gone to election. We have lost heavily. So what's the problem? The candidate did so well. He went to every constituency. Look at the crowd he pulled. Even in MPs will say that. The crowd the man pulled, the same people, when you ask them on the D-Day to go and vote. Lethargy. Me, Effiduase Asokore, they are listening to me. How many times didn't they call me that my own boys are standing at Methodist, they are standing at Presby, they are not voting, and you have to go and say, hey guys, come on, go and vote. What's all this? MP Wabahadia, was here trouble, and Kadia with you. That's a kind of quiet, right. And I couldn't have gone, I was getting calls. I can't go to every part of the constituency.
So the signs were there.
But the signs were there, and it was there at Ejuso. It was there at Asin North. Turnout was low. Turnout was low. 2020, Ejuso, you made about 89,000 or so, and then at by-election you are struggling with about 30-something or something thousand. When the very people who were supposed to vote were standing there, say we won't vote unless, I don't want to know about the unless So you didn't see this. We saw this on the wall. That is why Bawumia's campaign, we brought what we call Get Out to Vote, GOTV, Get Out to Vote. Why? Because we realized that in the scenarios, when there's low turnout, below this point, Bawumia knew we were going to lose. When there's a turnout to this point, they know we're going to win. So let us push on what it takes for people to turn out. Are you going to blame Bawumia for the turnout in Asenov? Would you blame Bawumia for the turnout in Ejuso? The very people who said they are not going to vote unless you think it's Bawumia who caused it. And therefore, in Akan, they say, Unimowua. You can do the translation. You don't know what it means by death. Just look when you have people sleeping, literally, just have a look at them. They are helpless. So you saw the signs.
Right.
One was election year, one was a year before. And then in Kumewu, extremely low turnout.
Yes.
You want to baptize Bawumia for the ills of the government.
Could it also not be because he was a key figure in the administration and now leading the party into the 2024 elections? He was the one people could hold accountable for what was happening?
People were totally upset with all of us.
Not just Bawumia.
Yes, with all of us. I'm saying that when they make this document public, everybody will get their fair share in it. All of us, from MPs to everybody, will be dressed in there. We are all being dressed in there. I'm telling you, from the scenarios and what we hear from our constituencies as a unit of other constituencies in the country, that aggregate to be what you have to get to around 75. Absolutely what I hear on the ground. Everybody have their share.
And so for your party people who say the blame should fairly and squarely be left at the doorsteps of Dr. Bawumia,
it makes no sense. Totally makes no sense. However, as a leader, you know what he said? Also, if we have hurt you, we couldn't meet your expectation, things in the past, I stand on behalf of my party and say sorry, forgive us. That is a good leader.
But he's been accused of trying to blame the former president other than take blame in what happened.
I've not seen the report. So you let us have the report, and if everybody have a position in any fair share in it, then we can blame him or her. I've not seen the report. I have not heard President Akufo-Addo being attacked by Bawumia on any day. I've had hearsays from people that they are not doing well, and then I've had hearsays that President Akufo-Addo is not supporting Bawumia. But I've also told people that President Akufo-Addo is a nice statesman, and he's an advisor. And he, so where he is, he doesn't matter in the operations and the direction of the party, but he's going to be concerned. So if he's acting as a statesman and he's not going to support anybody, or he's not going to support Dr. Bawumia, it wouldn't be any different from his attitude when he was a president, because really as a president, he was not involved in it. We were involved in it.
Right.
And he knows that he wasn't involved in it, but people painted it like he was involved in it. And therefore, that would be another shocker to those skeptics when Bawumia wins again and you realize that Bawumia was carried by the party and nobody pushed him.
So to get you right, in the 2024 elections, it was the party pushing and not President Akufo-Addo?
The party wanted Bawumia. It was not President Akufo-Addo.
He had no part to play whatsoever?
No part to play whatsoever.
Because Dr. Bawumia was tagged as an establishment candidate.
Absolutely, that was not true. I said that on the sister station, Oyeripa. I said that you've tagged me as pro-Kufuor. I'm happy to be pro-Kufuor. And therefore, you said I was Alan. Now I've joined Bawumia. And you said establishment. I asked the host, who is the establishment? Who can call Ayew Afriye and say that Ayew Afriye, you are being shaped I'll ask you for what reason? What do I owe you, or what do you owe me to give me a call on that subject? The many people who came for Bawumia are people who just liked him, that he has what it takes to lead the party. And if you knew he couldn't have been worth to be a running mate or a vice president, then you couldn't have brought him there, because anybody who wants to be a vice president potentially can be a president. And you don't go and take somebody from somewhere and then I don't believe in that. You understand? So we stood up and we worked for him. You have people who are pro-Nana-Addo, who could be loyalists of Nana-Addo, who would say that I won't support Bawumia. But you have many people around Nana-Addo who also like Bawumia from his own home and his own family. So if there is such level of democracy, it tells how you feel about your father and your mother on issues. Your mother and father will say, I want this. You, the son, will say, you want this. There's democracy. Alajete was MPP chairman. Lara Jete was MDC. Can you force your son? Your son say, I want this, but you're still your son. That's the issue. So if you go around now, President Kufuor, you see that is people, some are this, some are this. But the majority have for Bawumia, but we don't want to go into those issues of the hearsays. We are ready to give a shock to the many people who thought that somebody was behind Bawumia. He won by right.
Now, even talking about that, less than a year after your party lost power, we are hearing names. People have even mentioned that, yes, they will be contesting the flag bearer race of the party in 2028. The likes of Kennedy Japan, we've heard of Brian Echampong, even in some cases, Patrick Yawboama and the likes. How do you feel about all of this? Barely 6 months after
it's too early. In 2008, when we lost the election, Alan was going for WTO position. The party was a lame horse, and therefore you need to build a party, and people gave the leadership the opportunity to build a party. And politics started in 2010. You understand? Yes. In 2010.
Right.
I beg your pardon, 2010. So it did start 2010. But now, in 2025, right after elections, you have people expressing interest all over, as if we have elections tomorrow. No beating space for Bawumia, just like the previous president had. He had beating space all over. All over. For about a year, Alan traveled, the party had space to reorganize itself. Why can't that be offered to Bawumia? Why are we running around as if we have elections tomorrow? Why so? And Bawumia is tired. He's gone for elections. And people are expressing interest in all of them. I wish them well. Every police officer one day wants to be IGP. So there's nothing wrong.
But how does all of that play in line with the party's restructuring agenda? Because like you said, you lost terribly in the last election. So
yes, we did.
You're trying to heal wounds.
Yes.
How does all of this play in making you achieve that?
Yes, for me, the earlier we have the presidential, the better, because in other instances, we don't have a lot of people coming in right after election, they want to be presidential candidates. So if that's what they want, let's do the police station, let's do the presidential, so everybody has his level.
Okay.
They should have given us a bidder, but it's not coming. So if that's what they want, then the party will be divided from the front of presidential. Serve them down. Times have changed. Years ago, it wasn't necessary. You start from police station to constituency to go. But now, times have changed. If times have changed, serve them the presidential. Reorganize the police station, go and let them vote for presidential. And now come back and start from the constituency and go. That is natural law. For me, I think it's natural logic.
Based on the exigencies of the time?
Absolutely, because time has changed. Right after election, people want to be presidential all over. Those times was in 2010. It was the following year. Nanado would even travel to UK for about 3 months or 4 months. And now you can't even travel. So situation has changed. So if times changes and stuff changes, you also change.
Okay.
And so you serve the needs now. Early presidential, immediately, then everybody finds his level. Then the whole party will be quiet. Then rebuild the party with the truth and with some discipline. And be able to get out to the many people in the pool, because research is showing that over 20% of ours also voted against us, and many of us didn't also vote at all. So there's a lot of them. They want to hear truth to power, so that if they give you another opportunity, you don't cause that mess. We went to Mampohene, late Mampohene. I mean, for the current year, in Mampo, and when Bawumia was filing past, and also greeting all those who were there at the service. Many of them who stood up, next way they about to. It's as if somebody has informed them, or they are confessing that we didn't vote, but the next election we are going to vote. Many people didn't vote. But yet, Bawumia was a bit attractive. So when he came to constituencies, a lot of people came there to listen. The same people just within about 2 weeks, go and vote. And nothing pushed them to go and vote.
So if he was a bit attractive to the people, the crowds followed him. What went wrong there?
That's why I said it's a mixture of perception, truth of how they feel. And we can start from Kumewu, Asen of Ejuso. If you have a good research in those areas, research work done, and you have what we have done now, you can have a clear understanding of what the people felt 2 years to the elections. How they felt 2 years to the elections. 2 years. So it means that many people's minds were made up 2 years to the election. And don't take Ghanaian voters for granted now. They can give you 4 years. They can give you 8 years. They can even give you 12. Depends upon how they feel. Listen to them. Respect them. Know the way you talk. Speak truth to them. Let openness prevail. Transparency prevail. There are a lot of complex positions in this issue. Many of us are all directly or indirectly involved. What do? Reorganize the party and let them understand why we lost the election. So we can also tell them and give them a sense of confidence that they knew why they lost the election. Can we give them the opportunity? Do you understand? As a medical doctor, I don't conceal. Even patients, when you are treating them, you want them to have an understanding of their situation. It heals. It heals.
When they know exactly what is wrong.
Exactly heals. And you assure them, it heals. Social media politics now is a complex one. So times have changed.
Right.
You can conceal probably 10, 15 years ago. You can tell your son what to go and do. Now your son will come and tell you how it's going. What's the vibe? And you are young, but your son or child want to tell you are old school. When you tell them that, but you are in the market, you know?
Yeah.
Phones penetration and internet, they know everything. So it's either you are being truthful or you are just tickling yourself and laughing. They will still stab you again at your back. So times have changed. Just like maybe 10 years ago, you would have just concealed and it's okay. Or even maybe 4 years ago. But now, the youth now, my brother, you have to explain things to them. Just 4 years, look, just a year, everything is changed. So if you have the same feeling of 6 years ago or 8 years ago, you are totally lost in a country, Ghana, where social media has penetrated a lot, can mislead many people. And the way they feel on that media is how they will get out to go and vote.
Right. You are in Parliament. Tim Ken says that Dr. Bawumia's popularity among MPs has dwindled. In fact, they contend...
Do they have any research? Do they have any research?
They contend that some of the MPs who used to be pro-Bawumia are speaking to them and are saying that, well, we're going with Ken.
Example of which MPs?
Names have not been mentioned yet.
Yes. You see, so when we are there, they should bring this argument and then we ask them. So we ask them. So we are there. Bawumia has a lot of MPs in support of them. There are a lot of MPs that are taking cue from what is happening at their backyard. Me, if I go and do anti-Bawumia in my backyard, I will lose my primaries. I'm not going to do that. I won't go that route.
Are you not just saying this because you are pro-Bawumia in this regard?
Ashanti region is the heartbeat of MPP. Can you get your media team there, Bediako and his people there, GHOne people, and they go around and have a feeling, a random opinion in constituencies about how people feel? They will tell you, bring Bawumia. Mr. Mensah, I'm daring you. Send a team to Ashanti region only. Let them do random sampling in Ashanti of who to lead the MPP. Let them start from the town centers, the mid to the very rural part. Randomly sample the opinion. Will beat everybody. Straight up. That is what they want. And if Ashanti wants something, the whole party, at the end of the day, you call me back and tell me that. Me, I'm a Presbyterian, I'm no prophet. But when I was going on rounds at the first primaries. I said Bawumia was going to win because that's the mood of Ashanti. And indeed, when we went, the MPs, he had over 80%. And then the polling station, he had about 66 or so, near 67. That was the mood. It's not changed. And I'm the same person telling you again that the mood hasn't changed.
It's still Bawumia.
If the mood had changed, we will tell Bawumia the mood has changed. It's still. That's what I'm saying, that do your checks in there. You'll get to see.
Right. So the entrance of someone like Brian Champon does not change anything?
I don't want to talk about my brother. He wants to be a president. I wish him well. I don't want to talk about Ken. He wants to be a president. I want you. I just want to sell the candidate, my candidate. And my candidate is Dr. Bawumia. I would always sell him on any day. And I would not want to run anybody down. I wish all of them well. Right. Since they've started, some of them are campaigning and are blowing hot airs all over. Wish all of them well, but just them be guided by their utterance.
Because we've been told.
They should learn from Dr. Bawumia.
Right.
He doesn't attack personalities.
Because Kennedy,
he doesn't say what
has mentioned that the campaign season, it will be a sweet one.
I don't want to know about what Ken is saying. I just want to say that they should learn from Dr. Bawumia. He doesn't attack individuals. He just say policy and how he can do it. So if they can also follow same, it will help them. That's it. That's the kind of party they have now.
Right. Let's look at the choice of running mate for Dr. Bawumia, because some have also said that that was a factor, even though, like you said, we've not seen the report yet. Some say, well, if we had someone else as Dr. Bawumia's running mate, perhaps it would have bolstered his chances.
But it's the same report that is being concealed. It's being shelved. So how can I talk about this? How did I will even ask you, how do you know about this?
No, I've heard from party communicators.
You heard from party communicators?
Yes.
It could have even been stated in the report. Who knows? Now, I don't know. And I'm in a sensitive position. So I cannot run anybody down. Others want to be presidents, and you think Napo don't want to be president. And me and Ayew Afriye, I didn't run Ken down. I didn't run Brian down. I didn't run Yabuama down. And you expect me to run Napo down. No, it's not going to happen. I've not seen it.
So for you, fundamentally, that report needs to be out urgently.
Absolutely. Otherwise, just meet the party, the cream of the party, or whatever you call it, cream de la cream, whatever you can. Just let people have presentation on what happened. Even if you take the whole day presentation, let them write notes. And take the document away if you don't want the document to be in the public domain. So now, the truth is out. People will talk about the whisper, but there's no evidence. At least we'll whisper, word of mouth. Hospitals, we don't thrive on adverts. Right. But word of mouth are those who make private hospitals loaded. So the same word of mouth, just within 1 month, everybody would get to know the important ones. Right. It will heal them. That document must be made public.
Interesting. Well, I'm still having a conversation with Dr. Nana Ayew Afriye, Member of Parliament for Effiduase, Asokore. He's also the ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament. And tonight, we're talking about a range of issues. Talked about the MPP just now. We also talked about the health sector and issues arising there. The nurses have called off their strike, but they've given, there's a meeting on the 26th of June. They'll get to know exactly whether or not government would meet them halfway, or they'll have no option than to return on strike. But then let's now talk about what has been happening currently. So what do you make, first of all, of how security agencies have acted in terms of arresting former appointees, sometimes even storming their houses, among others?
Do unto others as you want others to do unto you. So if that is what they want, if they want to keep this cycle on, they should keep doing it. Power is just going to be in your hands for a period, and then the other person gets it and he visits safe. If we also did it to them, and they are doing it unto others, unto us, then we did unto them as they are doing unto us.
So for you, they should take a cue.
You understand?
Of course I am.
Absolutely, but that's the truth. In a human institution, people have feelings. People have feelings. You come from me on an issue that I think is flimsy, and my kids are there, my wife is there, and at the end of the day, I get power and I want to do one to you, people have feeling. You know what I mean? So if we did unto them as they are doing unto us, so be it. If we didn't do unto them and they are doing unto us, it's up to them.
But really, is that the way
it cannot continue always. It cannot continue always. People should learn. The new crop of voters in this country are very complex people. People should learn. Yes, if you drag things too much, you become a nuisance to them. People should learn. Probably at the early times, there were anger among the youth, so they probably cosmetically would have to do stuff like this. But my understanding is that they are also engaging people subtly, and it's not in the public domain. So let's credit them too as well. But like I said, if we didn't do unto them, and they are doing unto us, karma is always around, acting around. If we did unto them, and they are doing unto us, fine.
Then that's karma served.
Absolutely. So let's come to a midline going forward and get to understand that this is not the way to go.
Right. Yeah. Now, provide some clarity on this for me. You were reported to have said that a delegation will be leading Chairman Wontumi to apologize to GHOne Mahama. Did you really say that?
I didn't say a delegation. Exaggerated position by, it was exaggerated by Joy FM. Needless social media sensationalism. I was interviewed on Asempa, and I said that where we've got into, me and my brother and I, if we have to actually go and beg, would go and beg, because in between the campaign, there are some of the areas that for me, looking at some of his videos, he went very personal. Okay, you would equalize and tell me that, oh, President Kufuor, during his days, Victor Smith came out and said he has taken $8 billion. He brought fake bank statement. When Victor came to parliamentary vetting, he said that was political talk. He would use Fifi Kwete also when he came, he said political talk, because he attacked persons. That's a question you ask. Where does this stop? You understand? Okay. I did AFAC. I formed a group. We did demonstrations all over. We were vociferous. We worried President Mills, late Mills, very peaceful soul, but we worried him so much. We worried GHOne Mahama. And I know GHOne Mahama at any point knows that this guy, he's this liberal and he's strong and he's hot. We troubled them left, right, center. They didn't get the military over us. Yeah, of course, some raids were done, one or two, but I mean, they realized the boys were bad boys enough not to bother about those things. It doesn't, yeah. But executive power, once you become a president, for a country, you see what Trump is doing, in the established democracy, he has all the powers and see what he's doing. When somebody is a president and he chooses not to bother you, so be it. If he chooses to worry you, the host, he would come to your place and find and go through your issues and would get what is against you. You understand? So we are in a society that people are moderate. But if you look at some of the videos that my brother did personal, and I told him, Chama, I want you to listen to me. I said, yes, we did politics together. You did all of them. But if you look at some of the videos, you may have gone personal on some of them. I wouldn't say it here. But at least I've seen one. So what is wrong? If you tell the president, and I said that, even president, if he wants us to come and beg him and do that, we'll go and just go and beg him.
Right.
So that he's come and say that this one we went overboard. The rest of it is politics. He knows it better. If I get President Mahama, I'll jab him hard, and I did. It is my politics. But I wouldn't cross a line in a way that I'll hit sensitive issues which may not be true, which could be very painful. And if out of the lot, somebody has done say that, and you say, go and say sorry. And you said you won't do, well, it's up to them. But I didn't say elders.
Right.
I said that myself and my brother, even if we have to go and beg,
you do that.
We'll go and do so on crossing a certain line, so that he would then leave the law enforcement agents to do their work. Look, if the president say every morning, Yoko, what is happening? If you don't see it to you, would you see this? Didn't we have demonstration in this country? We went to the police headquarters. Let my vote count one, the joint one. The police people, what they told us that order from above. Who is that above? They will never mention the issue of who is that order from above. So you want peace. So you heal a certain pain and then allow the law enforcement to work. That one, they would invite you, you go to court. Well, you mean how many years? My own brother Opuni, how many years? But if you want to say that you are strong enough to fight a president who probably, he may not feel hurt, maybe there's nothing wrong. But if you go and look at the video, you feel one of them crosses and it becomes personal. What is wrong to say, my brother, I said, and I will say it again tomorrow. But for this one, sorry. He's a politician, he knows it's a game. Yeah. So he will laugh about the other ones and say, for this one, dear Mensah, so and so and so. He can say it. He can even say in public that, oh, Charlie, if what he has said, guys, just deal with him with the law and me. Because I said on Akosi saying that there is a greater hand behind what is happening. And it's not just what we are being told. No. NIB, I said, CID. I said, Afak, we worried Mahama so much. Can you give a call and find out? You remember? I do. Were we treated like that? So he knows his politics. So when something is happening, you don't need people. Anyway, it's okay. But the reportage that elders was false. Right. It was him and I, Untumi and I, that if we need to do that, we have to do that. And then they say MPP elders are doing. Some would disagree with me, but I think my position is my position. You can disagree with me, but that's how I believe in it. I believe that's the way to go. You got severe backlash from that? When they did the elders. Yes, when the reports came out. The elders one? Yes. Yes, because people were asking me which elders. But when it was in Ekosi saying, on that platform, that day, I had every person who texted in, even those panelists, Charles Owusu, Sampine, and the NDC, they were all quoting Dr. Ayew Afriye. His stance is the best stance. His plan is the best. And they said, everybody who texted on that day, the feedback. You see the attitude of Ghanaians. They can be rough, they can be peaceful. All the time, read it. If you are entrenched, you will struggle with Ghanaians. Because you come with your answer in your head from your home. But you are seeing a different ball game and you still are stuck to your answers. And I don't think that is the way to go. Yeah, but I still suspect that what is happening to me is not ordinary. It's not ordinary. Oh yeah, there's a greater hand, a bigger hand. And so you stick with the point that perhaps it's time that Wontumi and you find ways to go and say sorry. Oh yes, I mean, if we have to go and say sorry, I've said that me and my brother and I would definitely have to say sorry. There's nothing wrong with the personal one. We have crossed the line. For the political campaign ones, that one we have is politics. But have you told Wontumi this? I have. I have. And he is on board, if it gets to that. Yes, I mean, he is on board. And of course, you have also some people also divided, yes, about it. But that is his decision. That's his decision. When they waste your time, it's your family that you stress them up. But mind you, the law enforcement agencies, they got a work to do. When they are doing their work, they will do it without fear or favor. You understand? Yeah. Yes. If they say you should report every day for 5 days, you will report. Whereas somebody else, they will say report once a week, once in 2 weeks. Okay. Yeah. Well, so let's talk about Parliament and the caucus. I mean, the Ashanti caucus. You were tipped to lead the caucus. What happened? Oh no, I played a major role in getting the caucus formed, but because of my political position on Dr. Bawumia, I clearly, when they were voting, I didn't go there because I told them I was not interested in it. Yeah. Why are you not interested? No, because there's a caucus, right? And I have my role I'll play. But we needed a caucus to address concerns of MPs and the issue of Ashanti. And somebody needed to be the driving force. Okay. So yes, the driving force, you can say it's me. But on the day they were electing, during the consensus vote, then I didn't go. I told them I was not interested.
And so, how are you shaping up as a minority for this 9th Parliament? Because yes, we've heard from your leader, Alexander Kwame-Appiah-Markin, who says that your numbers should not be discounted in any way. You will make sure that you keep government on its toes, among others. How are you shaping up to do that?
Yeah, we are so much poised to do that. We are so much poised to do that. We are calculated, and then we are clear in our mind. The issues on the floor, how we should tackle it. So we have strong leadership in terms of the committees, and people know what they are about. Mind you, the NDC still enjoys some goodwill. So you have to strike a balance. If you understand what I have said, so be it. If you don't, so be it.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. That's the point. So it's eating them up, and you eat them a matter of time gradually.
Yes.
So you also get slow as you put yourself together. Then you are on, but you're also slow. But eventually, very soon, the NDC will need us more than they need themselves.
Really?
It's going to come. Oh yeah, it's natural. It's a cycle.
Right.
It's a cycle that you cannot attend to all needs. I have not made any survey among the MPs who are in Parliament, but some of them will be so much disappointed because they said they are going to make me ministers in all their regions, and many of their MPs are saying that the people said they will make me minister. You made me minister, you know, and Deputy 2 didn't come, and the rest of them. See, it's a human cycle, and then a lot of the youths, you see, they won overwhelmingly.
Yeah. So
the expectations are high on them. You think you can satisfy all the youths? If we could, we would have. So it's a natural cycle.
Right.
Absolutely. So you don't fight it. You don't fight it, but we are only holding them accountable. And whatever business of the day, we take our strategies step by step. But let them do first budget cycle. Let them cross the next one. Let reality catch. I mean, they'll face reality. We'll catch up with them. Sorry?
You think they're not facing reality now? Reality has not hit the administration so far.
It is now hitting them. The reality is now hitting them. You would have configurations as Israel-Iran war when we were talking about the Russia-Ukraine war. They say, oh, no. Exogenous factors don't matter in our mainstream economy.
Right.
But you want us to understand the Israel-Iran one. It's a matter of time. Everybody will get their fair share of the thing. You understand? Yes, so you don't fight it. And you see the manifesto of the NDC is huge, big. For me, long before they take it away from Gogumi, I have several copies with me. And as for the health parties with me, I have them.
You suspect they will take it out? They'll take it down?
Oh, sometimes in the past we could have version 1, version 2, a new version, old version. We saw versions.
Are you saying the NDC will not be able to fulfill its manifesto promises to Ghanaians?
They cannot just take health sector. They cannot. If they are able to do 50% of the promises they said in health, they would have done well. Have you seen them? Fix another meeting for their manifesto. But it's too early.
Because,
it's too early. No,
even the social contract, John Dramani Mahama says he did over 70% in terms of his 120-day contract, social contract with the people of Ghana. And so they're on track to delivering the better Ghana they promised Ghanaians.
Did you watch the Exchequer in UK, the interview on BBC? She was struggling. She was struggling. They were mentioning manifesto issues, and she was even struggling to stand. All of them were in the manifesto. Look, this is what you promised you would do. That is, Ghanaians have voted for you. Enjoy your goodwill. But when the time comes, accountability will just be taken and marking. And that's what they say you do, and all of them. Right. This one is like going to run exams. We used to say, Apo.
Yeah.
This one, the opponent For NDC, we are not enemies. Oh. The enemies, they are in their own party. Because when you take a minister, they don't give it to me, Dr. Ayew Afriye from MPP. So the one who wants to drop you back down is within your party. So we are only opponents. So your opponent is going to write an exam. He's telling you that this is what I'm coming to do. So I'm yourself. You understand? That's the issue at stake. So, like I said, they have some good words, so it's okay. I mean,
so I mean, it's been what? The government is in its 6th month. What do you make so far of the administration?
I think it's still reorganizing itself. Yes, I think it's still reorganizing itself. The manner in which they promised that, when they come into power within 3 months, everything will be fixed their own. It's not the same. They are still forming boards and all of them. Even the appointees, maybe they are done. I'm sure they are done. I hear there are some deputies. I'm very sure it's not going to. I think it's not true.
Yeah, there are former slots.
I'm sure, no, it's not true. Maybe the president is running a lean government heads up on nominal figures and not the expenditure. So maybe he's running a lean government. So he has decided that he won't add the 4. So it's good. So how many would they be?
Has he decided?
Oh, I'm sure.
Because you're told the 60, yes, it will come.
But he said within 3 months, everything will be, you hit the ground running, everything is on. I've been president before, we are on and co. And
the word out now is that even though we promised 60, we are running the country with 56.
But I'm not too sure you add the 4. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure the president will add the 4. I'm sure he's just keeping 56. So, but he's done well. If somebody say you do 60 and he's done 56, has he not done well? I might want to say he should appoint the 4 more. Hey, Mensah, this is not what you're talking about. The president has done well. So with the president, with the 56 ministers, you've done very well. You promised 60. So we can keep it. But if you bring 4, that is going to take a longer time. Because this is January, we are in June.
Yes.
I'm not too sure the president will add the 4 to it. No, I'm not too sure.
But there are people who are waiting for appointments.
Oh, Mensah, the man says
they are waiting to fill the 4 slots.
Really? And if he's decided that I said 60 and I've done 56, what can you do to him? He's done very well. The president, you've done well. He said 60, you've done 56. I mean, you've done well. Mensah, it's reality. Oh.
Yeah.
It's a reality. And then, so you're asking about our government. And I say it's still forming. So at least I have a point to say that it's still forming. But Ghanaians are not always waiting. We just want you to butter our bread based upon the promises that you gave them. You understand? And minority is not even we've not started holding you accountable.
You haven't?
Oh, have you seen us using a manifesto against them? We are only doing the business of the day. And we agree and disagree. Accountability is when we are going to state the many things they state with the economy and what they will do. They will check it. They will do health, will do trade.
Yes, they promised to scrap e-levy. It is gone.
I've told you that in this...
Betting tax, it's gone.
COVID. It's hanging on.
It will go in September.
It will go in September.
So we are told.
Really? And they said, if you look at the manifesto, they said it will go. They didn't say they will hold on for a period. Reality is done on them. What they stated, COVID was part. And I think COVID levy should be changed into, it has to metamorphose into a levy that should be constructive in helping this country.
So you don't believe in the scrapping of it, but you feel...
They have to come and say sorry. It's their responsibility that we said this, but this one we cannot. Because really, Ghanaians, respectfully, all this support for vaccines thing is going to go away in the next 4 or 5 years. And you're going to have a reality to buy and produce your own vaccines. Where's the money going to come from? Have you thought about this? You understand? The reality is going to dawn on us soon. Okay? But they only did politics with it. And you have a lot of Agenda 111 hospitals. That COVID levy alone can let people have access right from their doorstep to the hospital. Agenda 111 as it is. Yamutu. Look, I'm not even going to go there. We went for elections. Translate it. we lost.
Yeah.
We lost. We didn't lose on a lighter note, on a heavy note, 41.7. We lost, right? Good. So it is your responsibility to fix it.
Right.
You have no time to play politics with it. Because universal coverage of healthcare is saying that the people should be able to afford and access healthcare just at their doorstep. That's why you send Agenda 111 all over. So the person in that district don't need to go to the capital. They just have to access it there. By 2030, that's where the world is going. You cannot stop this flow. So what do you have to do? You got to finance it. How do you get the funds? Come out, ask for forgiveness, redirect the resources somewhere. Let Ghanaians see that you are using the money to things which are tangible. That this is what we bought, we did this. They will calm down because they have a strong feeling that a lot of taxes and no value.
What do you make of Mama Cares?
I told them, I don't know about Mahama Care. I said, if you use Mahama Care, it's dead on arrival because the same thing happened to Obama. And then you use Obamacare and then Trump came and then tore it apart. So they said Ghana Medical Trust.
Fund. Yeah.
Ghana Medical Trust Fund. I have told them that I don't believe in the fact that it's going to be used for treatment of complex, non-communicable disease or complicated cases.
But that's what we are told it would be used for. Why don't you believe that?
I don't think that. I can borrow them when we go for discussions. I've called for a health forum, and I'll borrow them what we said in our manifesto. The Health Development Fund, MPP said it would institute, and the Health Development Fund is a fund that's going to promote promotion of good behavior to reduce the burden of non-communicable diseases, not the treatment, because the NHI takes care of it, and just increase the benefit package, and then it will take care of it. So you are going to duplicate it and weaken the institution, and you are going to have double claim, and there's going to be a lot of mess in the system. We don't believe in that. We believe in the fact that if you are going to change attitude by health promotions, that is better. 2, we believe in the fact that hospital infrastructure has to be improved, and therefore you can use some of it for equipment, finance and equipment, so that we have, especially the rural areas, you have a one-stop area, because they pay so much money to commute to where they can have a tertiary care or secondary care. So these are the ones that you want to keep them, so they should look at that. We also said that they should be interested in sub-specialty training. Okay. So the more sophisticated equipment you want to have here, a health tourism, then you should be interested in training people in sub-specialty. And normally, they don't have budget. So this sort of fund in healthcare can take our sub-specials to bring advanced centers. So by the next 10 years, you don't go abroad.
You have now, here who
but it is step by step. Right. From such a fund, you need to add on to that stuff. And then you look at the issue of rural posting. Many health workers don't want to, they shy away from rural posting. So if you have such a fund that says that, okay, to augment the health system, we will take care of those health workers who go for rural placement, and this is how we take care of them. So we use that subjective position from assemblies and how they feel and what funds they have and the frustration to health workers. You take it away from them. And then vaccine. And then you look at preparedness, emergency preparedness. That is health security. So you have such funds from there. So if you have a health fund, and you are calling yours the Ghana Medical Trust Fund, and we were saying we're going to do the health fund, we didn't have the opportunity. We can lend that discussion to them. We can they will pick our manifesto. We will explain all the things we said. So their trust is not so different, but the diagnosis over there, the prescription, where they are going to treat only complicated cases. I beg your pardon. The global world, they're talking about behavioral change for quality of life improvement. Not talking about let them fall sick and be interested in how you are going to treat them, but prevent them from falling sick, and then the longevity, the average lifespan increases. Okay. Yeah.
Well, Doc, before we drop the conversation tonight, the minority in Parliament, your side, I mean, you have called for a total repeal of what has been christened the D Levy. the energy sector amendment levy. Government says from now, it was supposed to kickstart in the next pricing window, which was the 16th of June. Unfortunately, some way, somehow, government says we'll have to postpone that implementation.
Because of... but we are here, our good people are listening. Just Asokore people are listening.
Yes. Israel, Iran.
Because of the Israel-Iran. In reality, don't catch them. That's another language in the other realm. So Russia and Ukraine was not a factor. I don't think Israel-Iran is a factor. I also am telling them Israel-Iran is not a factor. So we are waiting for them to bring the notes and the footnotes to why it's a factor. And the point is that they then also said they are now going to do stakeholder consultation. You do stakeholder consultation before you bring the issue to the floor. You understand? In lawmaking, when you go to the committee level, that's where we do stakeholder consultation. You don't bring a memorandum to the floor and then you say you are now going to do stakeholder consultation. Lawmaking turns upside down. Reality is Johnny on them.
So, yes, it's been postponed. You are calling for repeal. Do you think that this would be the end we'll hear of it?
But we were able to manage the lights on for 8 years, so they should be able to also manage it.
Because we are told that if you're able to raise funds from this levy, we'll use that in also acquiring fuels to be able to keep our plants running, and yes.
But the NDC, when they took over power, the fuels were not, the lights were not running. Was that the case? Or you want me to lend them some understanding? Okay, I've understood. You are not a chief whip. You've shipped me in line, so I've understood. I've understood. They made their argument. You understand? The very argument that they made. They've been caught up in the same web. They're caught up in the same web. And over this one, the health one, we lend them understanding and intervene. This one, they have to roll it on. We are there.
So you still maintain a complete repeal of this?
Oh, maybe they will repeal it after the Iran-Israel war. I'm sure it will end very soon, actually. It will not be long. So maybe after they would have done consultation and they will bring it back. When we get to that bridge, we'll cross it.
Okay. Doc, your final words as we wrap up the conversation this evening, because especially with the nurses, 26th of June is when they expect some response. Ahead of
now,
that.
my final words is that I have problem with you and your network.
Oh.
Yes, you didn't bring, but you put Andali here. It's another issue.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes. And I wrote to you.
Yes, you did write to us.
Yes, I've written to you, and I gave you a week. Have you responded?
I'm not sure if management has responded.
Okay.
But then, I mean,
for me, I'll always come to your show.
Doesn't it matter?
For me, I'll do my job.
Third-party content.
Is that what?
Third-party content.
But, okay, so third party, what does that mean?
So we did not produce that.
Okay.
So this company buys airtime, produces content, and shows during that period.
On your show?
Yes.
So anybody buys content, all you want is your money. And the person can just say anything. Is that the case?
Oh, not
then
that. Not that.
Next week, I will be a lawyer.
You know that's not what it is.
Yes, so I'm just expecting my response.
You get the official response.
Yes, from you. And when we have to bring it to Parliament, because the good people of this country want to know why my very, very, very good friend would allow such thing to happen here.
Right.
And then, I'm a searcher in Ashanti region, and from Effiduase, my old boy is Dr. Dufour. So when he sees me here, he's my old boy. But at this point, no. Ghanaians want to see something.
Yes.
So,
I mean, but then it has to be put out there that this is not content that GHOne produced.
All right.
It's not a GHOne produced.
No, we'll need that. We'll need that one on paper.
On paper.
So that if I had a response, then the minority leadership will meet on it. Then by now, when I came here, it would have been so easy for us to have met and understood the issues and co. Definitely. But we gave you 1 week. It expired last Friday.
That'll be done. That'll be done. Now about the next, it's 26th of June.
Right.
They say that if they get good news from government, then we should not worry. If that doesn't happen, then we should be looking at another action.
Yes, I mean, the nurses are so reasonable. Let's be honest, they are so reasonable. It's like working here, and maybe producers have bargained for something they have been given, cameramen have been given this, the host also, we all agreed, and they say effective first. And then the rest of them for 1 year are enjoying the increase, and you alone, you are not enjoying it. How will you feel? Naturally, it affects the efficiency of labor, because the peace of mind of labor.
Right.
They see you every day, they remember what they are not having, and that's not good. You want patients to go and feel accepted, and it's nurses, frontliners. You can't do such thing to them. You need to respect their rights because they are justified. The good faith here is that they have shown that, okay, this 8, this 4, you said you want to do the 8 next year. We say, okay, do 4 now. So you do media budget for you, on board the 4.
And the 4 include the clothing allowance?
The 8%,
the 8%,
basic salary,
and then
the clothing,
book and research
the
allowance, and then the fuel. Right.
And if you calculate it, it's so reasonable. And they've been so reasonable only for you to come back and say no. So what we'll do is that we told them in the committee, at that point, minority would just stand with the nurses. You understand? Yes. And then the whole thing will become very political. But then the government wouldn't have been reasonable. They have exhibited bad faith. They didn't meet them anyway. Yes. But we don't expect that. Looking at the ones we picked, cherry pick with them, did a few months, it makes a lot of sense.
I'm sure even arriving at that 4 was not an easy task.
At all. At all. At all.
Because they would have wanted everything.
Everything. That's why I said, if you were in the room, they've bent their backs. Like, they've done it so well. Because we pleaded with them. So if you don't come back the same way to them, then obviously entrenched stance. So then we align with them, and then we all see what happens. Yeah.
Right. And for your constituents, in this 9th Parliament, what should they be expecting from you?
Yeah, I'm going to start my thank you tour starting from this weekend. Okay. Unfortunately, we lost the elections. The NDC is on, so the constituents, as they are listening to me, I can't do much like I used to. So anything they have to do, they need to get to the DCE, they need to get to the NDC. So that is the tour that we're going, that the system has changed.
Right.
In Cree, we say, Adiana Dane. Adiana Dane. It's turned upside down. So they have to be able to understand that a lot of demands will have to head to the DCE, who will bring it to Accra. Those days will be the MP who will bring it to Accra. Now it will change. We only hope for the best.
Right.
There were ongoing projects like roads, which I don't know if they are going to continue or is going to go on. There was one of them from Effiduase to Nkumso to the council, which they were just going to start the quota of the roads. To date, it's not been done because they prepared the road. They did everything. The following week, they were going to put on bitumen.
Yes.
It's stalled. So I will let them know that I don't know what is going to happen. So I'm going to be brutally frank with them.
On this, thank you, Tom.
Absolutely, because expectation would have to be trimmed down. And then I will have to direct them, the traffic.
To the DC's office.
To the DC's office. So I'm doing my job in opposition.
Right.
Then I'll represent them. I'll ask my questions for them. I'll check on the water, the roads. I'll do what I have to do. At the opposition, what I have to do is remind government to do it. So I would definitely do it and stand in for them. Right. But the remaining, we just have to redirect the traffic to a different direction.
Doc, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
For being with us.
Thank
and if you're looking for a smarter, more secure and eco-friendly way to stay connected, well, it's time to live seamlessly with MTN's eSIM. Enjoy the ultimate convenience of multiple numbers on one phone, switching seamlessly without swapping SIM cards, and also activated instantly from your home on My MTN app. You can now experience enhanced security with an embedded eSIM that can't be stolen or damaged. Plus, you get to play your part in contributing to a greener planet. planet. All you need to do is to dial *#06# to check your phone's eligibility and download my MTN app to go seamless with MTN eSIM today. If you have more inquiries, just call 100 or contact us on any of our digital channels. And so that has been the conversation tonight with the Member of Parliament for Effiduase Asokore, Dr. Nana Ayew Afriye. He's also the ranking member on the Health Committee of Parliament, and he says he would keep playing his part as a ranking member, and it will be devoid of politics, because for him, health is paramount, and no colorization to that. It has been a wonderful conversation. Remember to keep getting interactive with us on social media, on Facebook, on X, and on YouTube. I am Joshua Kodjo Mensah. Good night.